There are just so many animatronics that we need to be jump scared by again. Can't we just have them all in Security Breach? Welcome back, my fellow gamers. I'm your host, Amanda McKnight, and this is Top 10 Gaming. Today we will be discussing some more characters from the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise that we feel we desperately need to appear in the newest game, Security Breach. There are so many great ones that I don't want to let go of, and then so many characters that I just need more info on. Join me as we count down the top 10 FNAF characters we want to see in Security Breach, Part 2. And if you missed Part 1, be sure to check that out after for even more ideas of who we'd like to see and why. But for now, let's get counting. Number 10, Nightmare. While we are all super excited for Security Breach, the question is, how scary will the animatronics we've seen so far actually be in the game? After all, they look fun and colorful and intimidating, but not really, I don't know, scary? They aren't Withered, they aren't Nightmare, and they definitely are not Springtrap. They look like fully functional, shiny new animatronics. Now, brand new and bright colorful animatronics, of course, can be scary, but not just based on appearance alone. Usually you need something extra there. So it might be cool to add something a little bit more surface level scary to the mix. That's right, what if Nightmare appeared somewhere in Security Breach? I personally think it would be cool if the whole Nightmare crew showed up at some point and we have, like, I don't know, a little dream sequence featuring them. But then again, I'm probably just dreaming with these hopes, or I guess nightmaring, I suppose. Number 9, the Endos. As I said with my previous point, while I am hyped for Security Breach, I also feel like it could use just a dash more scare. Nightmare might be a good way to add that in, but you know what else could be another good way to do this? With the Endos. Endos are short form for what we usually refer to as an endoskeleton animatronic, and there actually have been a few versions of them to pop up in the franchise, but we've never really seen them developed into any kind of main threat or main character. Even in Special Delivery, Endos show up and attack you, attempting to jump scare you, but they aren't the main attraction in that game either. They're kind of like the warm-up. It would be cool to see an Endo take on a role as more of a main character or main antagonist. Even perhaps a whole fleet of Endos showing up at once? I mean, that sounds pretty scary to me. Makes me think of Terminator. There's nothing scarier than a robot without its skin on. And friends, before we move on to this next point, if you are enjoying this list and you want more FNAF lists, where we talk about more FNAF characters, please be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. And why not click subscribe while you're down there. It's good for you, I promise. People say every time you click subscribe, an angel gets its wings. Number 8, Puppet. The Puppet is one of the freakiest characters we had in the FNAF universe, and while it might now be gone and Charlie's spirit might be free, it would still be cool to see some form of it return, even if it's just a form of the Puppet that was remade in some way. The Puppet as a character, as a design, is disturbing and unique. We don't have a ton of other animatronics that quite compare to it or look as similar. Perhaps we could have some new version of the Puppet, some other kind of, I don't know, Jack-in-the-Box style animatronic that was maybe even part of security or kind of like a guardian, like how the Puppet was. It would be cool to see the Puppet return in some kind of heroic manner, even if the character wasn't Charlotte any longer. I would love to see a hero Puppet. It's so creepy, but it's such like a sweetie, you know? Creepy, but a sweetie. Number 7, Lefty. Some have even imagined a version of Lefty glamrocked out, but me personally, I would be happy just to see regular old Lefty. Lefty has really only made a brief appearance in the franchise, first appearing in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, and then later in the more predictable and not as story-focused titles Ultimate Custom Night and Special Delivery. Lefty could also be a 2-for-1 deal too. If we saw another version of the character, there might be another puppet within it. Maybe a new puppet, Glamrock puppet? That could be really weird and disturbing, but also kind of cool. Glamrock puppet. Number 6, Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon. We might have talked about this a bit in part 1, I don't remember, but a lot of people have actually theorized that the Glamrock animatronics are part of the Funtime family, and that like the Funtime animatronics, these Glamrock animatronics could also be designed for, well, for storage. Storage of people. In Security Breach, fans think we might actually be able to climb into the Glamrock animatronics and even perhaps control them, needing to use their unique abilities to get around the Pizzaplex safely and efficiently. Actually, was this something that MatPat mentioned? I feel like it was something that MatPat mentioned. So thank you, MatPat, for this theory, if that's where it came from, and I'm sure it did. Thank you for this theory. I agree with it. I think it's a really good theory. Now, of course, if this theory is true and the two groups of animatronics are linked, then who is to say that the Funtime animatronics, or at least some version of them, might not be hiding somewhere? Somewhere in the Pizzaplex. You know who is another animatronic known for their capacity to store? Funtime Freddy. I'm just saying, I've seen the blueprints. Number 5, Springtrap. I know. Springtrap is doubly dead. So dead and doubly gone. But that doesn't mean we can't see at least some reference to it in Security Breach, or better yet, maybe some kind of flashback to everyone's favorite, super terrifying animatronic. After all, I'm still hoping we'll get more insight into William Afton and his story with Security Breach. I don't mind having more questions added to our big pile with this game, our big pile of questions for us to puzzle out, but it would be cool if we also at the same time at least got a few answers too. It would also be neat if this game found a way to acknowledge some of the various incarnations we have seen of William Afton throughout the years and throughout the franchise, such as his time as Springtrap, and maybe some more Purple Man. I feel like we haven't seen the Purple Man in a while. We know purple is his color, but I'd love to see that incarnation again. Number 4, Carl the Cupcake. Am I the only one who feels bad that Carl the Cupcake seems left out of Security Breach? Poor Carl. Is Glamrock Chica over Cupcakes now? Has she left Carl behind? We see her with her guitar and her leg warmers, but hey, where is Carl? What happened to Carl? Someone tell me. Did she eat him? Carl the Cupcake even got their own jump scare in later games like Help Wanted and FNAF 4, so I'm really hoping that somewhere there is a Carl lurking in the dark, waiting to jump scare you. Maybe a whole army of Carls. Now that is something I would love to see. Attack of the Carls. Attack of the Cupcakes. Number 3, Glamrock Bonnie. Many fans of Bonnie are sad to see that when it comes to the Glamrock animatronics, Bonnie seems to have no place on the team. Bonnie is one of the classic animatronics, and one who Scott Cawthon himself has claimed that he actually finds the most frightening. Instead, on the current Glamrock team, we have Roxanne Wolf and Montgomery Gator, seeming to replace both Bonnie and Foxy's place in this revamped crew. Why no Bonnie, though? Many fans have done their own redesigns of Bonnie, showing what a Glamrock Bonnie could look like if we got one, and I think many are still hoping that while not on the promotional material, there could at least be a hint or small peek at a newer, more electric version of Bonnie somewhere in Security Breach. Number 2, Glamrock Foxy. Speaking of animatronics we'd love to see glamified, I talked about him on part 1 of my list, and it's time to talk about him again. Could we see a new Foxy at some point in this game? I don't know. I don't think so, but I do hope so. I just love Foxy, and I would kind of love to see what a Glamrock adaptation of his pirate theme would be like. It is possible that in our exploration of the behind-the-scenes areas at the Pizzaplex that we could run into all sorts of animatronics who are maybe still in development or in a state of disrepair somewhere, hidden away from the entertainment and customer service areas. If this does happen, I would be more than happy to see among these not in-service animatronics a Glamrock Foxy, or at least a partially finished design of the character. I don't need a full Glamrock Foxy, even just a Glamrock head for Foxy would do for me. Fans have been creating designs, and they all look so cool, so I just really love to see what Foxy looks like Glamrocked out. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this little guy. You don't want this guy? Where's Foxy? Number 1, Michael Afton. One of the characters that many fans are hoping to see somehow return is Michael. Of course, it's more than likely that Michael is gone forever after the events of Pizzeria Simulator, but I think people are hoping that, like William, Michael will somehow prove to be kind of immortal, and that if William Afton lives on, Michael will find a way to return to help stop his father again. Of course, I am also one for the theory that perhaps William's children are not organic, but are actually in fact robots that he made. I know this theory sounds kind of crazy, but it would explain how Michael could somehow survive even with Ennard inside of him, and then later after he vomited up Ennard. If Michael is some kind of robot designed by William, like his animatronics, but obviously more lifelike, is it possible that he survived the fire, or that he could somehow return? We'll have to wait for Security Breach to find out what happens, and if he continues to remain dead, or if he returns to life somehow. Who would you love to see in Security Breach? Are there any characters we still have not mentioned that you are hoping will pop or, I guess, jump up? Do you think the animatronics will be more our allies in this game or will still be our main enemies? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 FNAF Characters We Want to See in Security Breach, the first part of the list. Unknown user responds, I want to see Golden Freddy because of Cassidy. Also, question, could the purple hand be the Stitch Wraith but controlled by William? That's a good question. I think it's possible, but I do think it's more likely that it's William coming back just because of the coloring on it. Logan Entertainment comments, the one character that deserves to come back is Cassidy/Golden Freddy. She's my second favorite character. Considering in the Fazbear Frights book that shows Jake helping in the epilogue, Cassidy could be someone that would help us after Security Breach. Let's hope we'll see the vengeful spirit rise again. Here's hoping. I mean, Golden Freddy could be a really cool one to see, I agree, so my fingers are crossed. Matt's Video Adventures suggests, I feel like Bonnie would 100% return. Not physically, but at least be an Easter egg or just a part of the Pizzaplex. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and opinions shared in a future video. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight, reminding you to keep on gaming on. Pew pew!